Hey Gary, this is Nick for Prestman Auto, just doing a video walkthrough of our 2025 Honda Odyssey. So what I'm going to do is we're going to walk all the way around, we're going to look for any dents, scratches, any sort of blemishes on the outside. Then we're going to go inside, go over some of the features, make sure everything's, working correctly. And then finally I'll pop the hood and evaluate just a little bit in the engine bay, just kind of for good measure. So first impressions are really good. I will say it's a little bit dirty, so we thank Utah weather for that, but that's a pretty easy fix. That being said, normally you'd expect to see a little bit of rock chipping up here in the front just because that's where it usually is. But I'm not seeing any. It looks like you have a really small one right here on the plastic piece, but even that's rather minor. So let's start going around and see if there's anything that we can find. If there is, I'll be sure to stop, zoom in, make sure you get a good visual so you know everything going on. But unsurprisingly, tires are in great condition. You got loads of life left in those, so that's awesome. Love that. Looks like you got a... oh, never mind. I thought I found a scratch, but I guess not. All right, to answer your question from earlier, so the key fob has a button to pop the trunk, so it is automatic for you there. You do have the floor mats in this one, so that's always cool. And then obviously you got your folding seats. I'm sure you're pretty familiar with that. Got some plugins here in the back and on. So let's keep moving. Looks like you have a little scratch right in here. It's kind of hard to see. It hasn't really chipped the paint, so I guess it'd be more of a scuff. I don't know if you can see that very well, but very, very faint. Nonetheless, good to know. Good to know. We like knowing stuff. And then up in here, you got... okay, well, never mind. Just a couple sticks, I guess. Cool. Well, honestly, as far as the exterior goes, this is really nice. I know I'm the salesman, so of course your salesman's going to say it's good, but I didn't see really anything much on it at all. So that's pretty sweet. We like that. Anyway, so as far as the interior goes, there is quite a bit we can go over. This middle seat is removable, so you can take that out if you want, or you can just leave it in. Either way, you have the leather interior, and then you have some controls for it up there, space in the back. But let's hop up front and get this thing started up. So I'm gonna leave the camera up on the dash when I turn it on. That way, if there's any kind of warning lights or anything weird popping up, you'll be the first to know. So let's check it out. All right, so we got one warning light up right now, which is the seatbelt light, which is, correct. Other than that, everything up here looks ship-shape, so that's fantastic. As far as interior features go, there are quite a few of them, so I'm going to go a little bit fast just for the sake of time, so this video isn't like 40 minutes long. But starting off up here, you're going to have your adaptive cruise control as well as your lane keep assist. So love both of those. You also have paddle shifters back here, and then just a couple basic controls for volume and whatever. You can obviously open and close the doors over here, so that's pretty sweet. Again, you're probably pretty familiar with that. You have your seat presets, one for you and one for your wife, so that's pretty sweet. Your basic stuff, obviously windows roll down, side mirrors and all that are working. So cool. Up in here, you're gonna have your heated seats, auto stop start system, as well as snow mode and econ mode, drive, neutral, reverse, and park. In reverse, you do have the backup camera up there in a couple different settings, so that's pretty cool. Up here, you're going to have, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you can connect your phone. If you're missing something else, you can download an app for that. So there's quite a bit to go over up here. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to linger too much on this. But if you do want me to double back and triple check on any of these things, I'm more than happy to. One of the most fun, though, is cabin talk. So you can talk to the people in the back. There's kind of a microphone back there and a microphone up here, and then speakers back there. So if they can't hear you quite well because kids are being loud, you can just yell at them through the speakers. Keep them under control. Anyway, so you're also going to have a wireless phone charger down here and a big old sunroof up top, so that's nice. Love that. But as far as the interior condition goes, it's honestly really nice. I'm not seeing any rips, any dents, any tears, any stains, any discoloration, any, I mean, really much of anything. It looks great. So we can go over features all day, but for the sake of time, we'll probably call that there. Let's pop the hood in the engine bay. We'll check that out real quick, and then that should be good for our video. Right. Also, while we're out here, here's a really brief look around some of our lot. So we go down, so that's our building down there. We actually go down past that building, so further than you can see. But what you can see here is maybe, I don't know, like 30% of our cars. So we sell more cars here than any independent dealer in the state. We've been around for 34 years now, which you don't have to know that, right? That's not like super important, but I do feel like it's nice to know a little bit about who you're working with, especially if you're looking from out of state, right? You'd be making a trip up here. Anyway, so you're a little bit more mechanically inclined than most, so you're going to probably look for quite a few things. But the basic things that I always tell everyone, even if they don't know anything about cars, to look for is just general signs of neglect. So acid buildup around the battery, you want to see if any of the metal pieces got rust or there's like cobwebs and junk on it. Just, does it look neglected? So for your case, let me actually pop this off because you'll probably care to see more than most. There we go. All right, I'm just taking the cover off so you can see a little bit more underneath. But yeah, just general signs of neglect are the basic things that I tend to tell most people to look for. That being said, if there is something more specific that you want me to double check on for you, I'm more than happy to. So it's nice when people are in the know. The best people to sell to are always salesmen and mechanics, just because they know what they're looking for and it's nice and simple. So anyway, as far as everything else goes under here, looking very solid. But if there's anything that I missed or something that you wanted to see that I just didn't quite get around to or didn't focus on enough, just let me know. I'm more than happy to show you anything on here. But for now, this is your new Odyssey.